Hey everybody, it's the author AuthorASnorton, and you're joining me for the Fast 15. As we normally do on Wednesdays, we take no more than about 15 minutes to kind of pause, check up, check in, enjoy an encouraging note from any of the books or audiobooks, have a few announcements, and just close out on a positive note. So I thank you guys for taking time out of your day to check up, check in with me. Hopefully it's helping you as it helps me out as well. The best ways to stay connected with me are going to be on Instagram if you add me at AuthorASnorton. And when you click on the link in the bio, it'll take you to my Linktree. So if you go to my Linktree, which is linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton, from there you can go ahead and click on the menus for the newsletter, which comes out twice a month. All the social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter/X, YouTube, archival editions of the Conversation Corner on the Status Network. Hey, how's it going today? And information on a coffee collaboration with Fonte's Coffee through the author Andrew Snorton blend, interviews, and more. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys, again, for staying connected and things along those lines. Yeah, it's a cold day out today. It's wintertime. So, I mean, hey, just bundle up, basically, trying to stay as fit as possible. Trying to think. Oh, yeah. So before we get into our passage of the day from one of the books, I'm going to find a pretty decent stopping point to actually, sit down and talk. As you know, we always take time.
Time, 5 minutes. Distance, 0.26 miles.
You see I'm getting my miles in, at least starting to. But we always take time to acknowledge people who are doing well and people who aren't doing well. So even with the new year being a little bit over a week into it, we know that there's some people that aren't doing well. Part of it is due to, residual stress from the holidays, adjusting to family members transitioning, or other life challenges. I know here in Metro Atlanta, from about this past Monday, from about 10 p.m. until yesterday, maybe about noon, give or take, there were some heavy enough rains to where there was some local flooding. Unfortunately, there was a tree that fell on somebody, and that was in Clayton County, one of the Metro Atlanta counties, and unfortunately, a person transitioned due to that. So we know there's some stressors due to the flooding and all that type of thing, and just stressors in general. Unexpected things popping up, people who you felt were working with you, and now they're working against you. So all those types of life hurdles and life challenges. So if you're someone is going through something along those lines, as I've said before, and I said again, you've got every right to feel some kind of way. But once you kind of get out of your feelings, identify what things you need to do constructively. So if that means changing up the people you're around, if it means changing up the spaces and places that you need to go, identify those formal and informal things that you need to do to put you in a better space and place so you can see things for what they are, kind of see people and situations for what they are and who they are. And they might have been showing that to you all the time, but you just might not have been paying attention, or you didn't think it was that bad, or whatever. On the flip side, there's people going through a number of positives. The new year, new job, new opportunities, things along those lines. There are a number of people going through positive experiences, and we want to make sure to celebrate those people, elevate those people. And if you're one of those people, you should take time to celebrate. You know what you've been led through in order to get to where you're going. Celebrate responsibly, so that way, you don't overdo it. And, feed off the positive energy, but let's not forget people who may not be doing so well. So that's kind of the note for the day. And right on time, I think I'm going to be at a point where I can actually sit down for a minute, and I'm going to pull a selection from one of the books that I feel might be speaking to just people in general. So if you bear with me as I am getting my time in, I see a spot where I can sit. So I'm gonna hope that I do this right in transition as well as I can. Hopefully you guys can see me. And you sure can. Hey, not that bad. Okay, so the passage that we're going to pull from today is going to be from, if I can untangle myself, which I'm doing a pretty decent job of. I probably need to, I'll just lean back because I'm not trying to do any more adjusting. This is from, of course, the current release, Quotes and Notes, Something's on the Horizon. So there you go, Quotes and Notes, Something's on the Horizon. Pretty much all but one of the quotes or original quotes that I came up with that have helped me and hopefully will help others. But in addition to the logic and rationale, there's a breakdown as to the why behind it, as well as space for you to journal. So if you agree, disagree, you want to go in a different direction, things along those lines. So the quote I'm going to read from is as follows. Let me know so I may help you let it go. I'll run that back one more time. Let me know so I may help you let it go. So here is the actual quote. And a lot of times it's talking about, a lot of times we do hold on to stuff that we don't need to. Sometimes it can be hurt. Sometimes it can be jealousy. It can be envy. And part of me bringing that quote up as I go ahead and get back on my walk is that it was brought to my attention today to a friend of mine as something that they're working on, and they see that they were backdoored on something, which is unfortunate when that happens. And the folks who did the backdooring really had no intention of telling the person what was going on. And, without going too deep, sometimes people are
Time,
like
10 minutes. Distance, 0.44 miles.
Well, that's only because I sat down. But sometimes people do stuff because they're still holding on to hurt. They're still holding on to unresolved issues. Other times, based on what they're doing, they realize what they're doing is the greatest thing that they're going to do. And there's not anything necessarily wrong with that. But sometimes when people look around and they see people who are more versatile in their approach, they do things a little bit differently that they might not fully get or fully understand. Sometimes people just do some foolish things. And if the shoe were on the other foot, they would have a problem with that type of thing happening to them. But when they do it, it's okay. And we know it's really not okay. So in looking at that quote, sometimes it means you got to talk with and listen to somebody and try to get an idea of the why. But if they don't verbalize it, their actions are kind of telling you everything you need to know. So make sure you're kind of cognizant and paying attention to that. And that's going to be our quote from the book, Quotes and Notes, Something's on the Horizon. Make sure to pick up a copy from your local bookstore, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, online, or if it's not available at your local bookstore, make sure to go ahead and request it. So a couple of things as I get back on my walk. I was on a pace for basically doing a mile every 20 minutes, but I had to sit down and talk. But a couple of quick things. Many thanks to WXII Channel 12, the NBC affiliate in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Had a great time on their morning show last Wednesday. If you check out my Instagram, I have the post on it. If you check out my Linktree, I have a menu where you can watch the full interview. So on January 27th from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., make plans to join me at the Book House, the bookstore in Rinalda Village from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. It'll take about first 30 minutes or so for people to get there, kind of informally meet and greet. Then over the 45 after that, so basically like 11:30 to 12 will be the meet and greet time. Then from about 12 to 12:10 will be the introduction from the bookstore staff, as well as a host, moderator to be determined. And then we'll get into the author's talk. We will feature the book Nothing Minor, which is my book on covering minor league baseballs. A number of the players I interviewed back then are on major league rosters. A number of them are African American, and we know that on the major league level, less than 10% of all baseball players are of African American background. There's a couple other hidden gems in there on the Negro Southern Leagues Museum, as well as a great talk with one of the umpire supervisors. So we'll kind of break all that stuff down during the author's talk. You'll have the opportunity to purchase, get it personalized, all that type of thing. So that's January 27th, 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the Book House, Winston-Salem. Shouts to Jamie Smith, who is the winner of the thank you drawing that I had to close out the end of the year. So she'll be getting her gift real soon. Thank you very much. We'll do periodic giveaways, things along those lines. So if you're subscribed to the email list, you need to make sure to check it. Let's see, a couple other things. We may have another event coming up in January, so if so, check the social media, and you can check out the next mailing, which will probably go out around January 17th, January 18th. Trying to see if there's other stuff happening. Let me think. Oh, the coffee collaboration. So Fonte's Coffee, shouts to my team at Fonte's Coffee with the AuthorASnorton blend. The standalone or the staple brands are the medium roast, the light roast, and the decaf. So those are going to be the brands that you'll always be able to get. Now, with the specialty blend, the bourbon infused, we are having that available through January 15th only. So the first run of the bourbon infused coffee is available through January 15th. You may order online at fontescoffee.com, click on the menu for special collections, go to mine, and you're good to go. If you're subscribed to the newsletter and or if you go to my Linktree, you can go ahead and get an idea of the locations where it's available. If it's not available where you are, you need to make sure to request it. So shouts to the team at Fonte's Coffee, and check out the reels. We did something creative and a little bit funny on that one. And thank you to everybody supporting the AuthorASnorton blend. We will have events coming up in February, so check the social media as well as
Time, 15 minutes. Distance, 0.68 miles.
All right, trying to see what else is really happening. Those are really some of the main things that are taking place. This weekend, MLK weekend, remember, it's a day on, not necessarily a day off. Try to do some type of community service, outreach, something along those lines. On the press and media end, you can catch me January 15th at Poplar Hill Baptist Church. I'll be covering the MLK program taking place there, as it features Norcross's current mayor, who's the first African-American mayor of Norcross, Georgia. So check out the media page, ASnorton CCS on Instagram, as we'll have an advanced article coming out, and then we'll make sure to cover. Trying to see if there's anything else that's really happening. I think that's really about it, as I'm trying to get my miles in. They say health is wealth, and it's not just physical. This is something about this cold, fresh air in the morning does it for me. So as we get ready to wind down, again, to stay connected with me, AuthorASnorton on Instagram. But when you click on the link in the bio, you may click on my Linktree. The Linktree is linktr.ee/AuthorASnorton. So from the Linktree, you can go ahead and navigate through my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, archival editions of the Conversation Corner, the AuthorASnorton collaborative coffee brand with Fonte's Coffee, interviews, including the one with WXII in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We went live last Wednesday, January 3rd, and things along those lines. So as I get back to walking and getting in some semblance of shape and getting my day jump started, just remember, whether small or big, a victory is a victory. Whether slow or swift, movement is movement. So keep it victorious, keep it moving. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys real soon. Let me go ahead and get back to walking. You guys take good care, and I'll see you later.